To add to the world's most complete line of material handling equipment, the Pettibone Mulligan Corporation of Chicago has introduced the new Cary-Lift machine that has a multiple fork and arm action which will sort, lift, tilt, reach, and place its load as high as 14 feet and reach forward at least 4 feet at any height. Its action is very similar to the human arm and hand and manipulates the loads with the same flexibility. It is a complete hydraulically operated unit which eliminates cables, winches, and other mechanical functions which have costly maintenance and repair expenditures. The Carylift is designed and soundly engineered to transport loads in excess of 5 tons over rough and unpaved areas that are found in construction jobs, lumber mills, and logging areas. A large 14 by 20 traction-type tires, driven on all 4 wheels, take this machine and its load in and out of places where other wheel units become hopelessly mired. On the highway, it can travel from one job to another at speeds up to 30 miles per hour. It has 8 forward and 8 reverse speeds. Many attachments have been designed to fit on the forks so that the Carylift becomes a multi-purpose unit. The 1 1/2 yard material bucket can be used in loose materials and also in hard-packed materials from gondola cars. This human arm and hand action can completely unload a gondola car in 40 minutes with a thorough cleanup action that scrapes the material from the sides and bottom of the car. Compare this to a clamshell operation where little piles of material must be cleaned by hand. Think of the construction field adaptations, or the handling of prefabricated sections of homes and buildings, or the many uses of the Carylift on wharves, docks, and warehouses, where heavy, bulky crates can be handled and stacked by one man with greater safety and more speed. Concrete pipe manufacturers and pipeline contractors find this machine invaluable for the careful, gentle handling of these sections. This machine keeps chipping and breakage at a minimum. Large auto-wrecking yards use the Carylift to transport the jalopies from the weighing scales to the torch cutters after the tires and wheels have been removed. The machine lifts the car from the scales, carries it down the yard, and places it in position for cutting and smashing. Another useful attachment is the 1 yard gravel bucket for excavating bank run material or trimming highway cuts. It is easily removed by slipping 2 pins and sliding it off the forks. The tilting action of the forks and the extended reach of the arms makes it possible to evenly spread the load in the truck body without severe shock and jolting on the truck frame. In log handling, the Carylift can be equipped with the grapple tong and becomes an all-around unit that alone does more work, faster, safer, and at the same time replaces many machines and crews. Let us watch a log and lumber handling operation. The machine is built to withstand the rough pounding and punishment of logging roads. The heavy-duty axles, tires, and high axle clearance allows it to reach the stacked pulpwood in almost any terrain. Notice how the grapple forces the logs on the forks. A full load of 1 1/2 cord is captured with the grapple. From the rear of the truck, the arms reach forward and gently place the logs on the truck body. When we compare the Cary-Lift method of loading with the crane type of loading, we readily see that the Cary-Lift is faster and safer over the uncertain swinging of a crane. Also, consider the damage to trucks when cranes hit them with pulpwood loads. When picking up loads of veneer logs, the grapple does not gouge, mar, or bruise the log, so that all the available veneer can be peeled. The powerful action of the grapple firmly grips the load without danger of spewing while traveling on rough terrain. This attachment is widely used in the logging areas during all seasons. The Carylift eliminates cranes, jammers, hooking crews, and can load more trucks per hour than any other method. This reduces the cost of handling, and the men are not subject to dangerous operations. The maintenance and upkeep costs are negligible, which again adds to the profits of the logger. This one machine with one man can do all the operations for a logger at far less hazard and greatly reduced costs. When trucks arrive at a stacking yard, they are easily unloaded and the logs stacked in any part of the yard. This faster method of handling means more payloads per day and less handling of the loads. The loads of over 5 ton can be transported at rates of 20 miles per hour, yet with no exertion on the operator, as the hydraulic booster steering makes traveling effortless, even in mud or soft, spongy ground. The four-wheel drive provides ground grip and prevents the skidding or slipping of tires on slippery surfaces. When it is necessary to load gondola cars or high-bodied trucks, the swiveling clam is an excellent tool. The clam can tilt forward or back with control and turn in either direction to properly place a load. The tilting is done with a hydraulic cylinder, while a hydraulic motor swivels the clam. There are no cables to become fouled, and the operator can carefully position his load before releasing the clam. Here again, this loading operation eliminates the use of men in the car. The tanning bark is stacked for drying, and when it is ready to ship, the Carylift picks it up and holds it firmly with a simple hydraulic clamp to prevent spillage. The clamp can be lifted out of the way for other work. The bark is placed in the boxcar and stacked for shipment. While the stacking is done in the car, the Carylift does other duties around the yard. All Carylift machines are equipped with four-wheel drives, but it is also available with the four-wheel steering device. The operator can engage the four-wheel steer by merely pressing a button so that he can move from an obstruction sideways. He can maneuver in close quarters without strenuous effort. We can easily see the advantage of turning in a 13-foot radius when it is necessary to work between log decks, rail cars, docks, warehouses, and certain construction jobs. These combined features of the Carylift add to the versatility and usefulness on all jobs. No other machine can outperform this outstanding unit or do as many jobs at less cost. Trucks are not kept waiting when the machine unloads them with a single push, and the veneer logs or pulpwood logs can be spotted in the yard without the necessity of moving a crane. If the logs should obstruct the truck wheels, or if the truck becomes stuck in the mud, the Carylift forks will pick up the truck and avoid the obstruction so that the driver can continue on for the next load. For log handling, the forks are equipped with runners so that the logs roll into the gravel to assure a full load each time. When the machine is to work around the mill or handle bark, these runners are removed by pulling a pin and sliding off the fork, preventing the loading of any squared end bundles or stacks. It would seem difficult to lift this lumber because the machine is on uneven ground and the forks don't line up. But the chassis can be tilted hydraulically by means of cylinders on each side of the frame. So that the forks penetrate between the separators and the lumber is lifted. This is another feature of the Pettibone Mulligan Carylift, which makes the machine similar in all respects to the human arm and hand. Loads can be kept level even though the machine is running along the side of a grade. Many mill owners report they can move 50,000 feet of lumber a day with hauls of 500 feet or more. All of this with only one man and one machine. Stacking lumber on flat cars can be done from one side only, and the car is loaded in only 30 minutes because of the exclusive reaching feature. After the mill graders have stacked their skids, the Carylift pulls the skid from the mill. Then it picks up the stack and transports it to the proper decks in the yard. Many of these small jobs are done between the arrival of trucks, or when the operator has a few spare moments from feeding the hot pond or mill rollways, so that the machine can be kept busy the entire day. The empty or loaded rail cars can be spotted easily because the Carylift has ample traction under all conditions. This excellent tool, with one-man operation, performs all the duties and jobs in logging areas and mill yards under all weather conditions. The Pettibone Mulligan Carylift is the only type of construction equipment that functions like the human arm and hand. The manipulation, versatility, and adaptations to all types of work make it indispensable for industry, public utilities, contractors, harbor and warehouse cargo movements, and scores of other applications where a mechanical machine must perform with the agility of the arm and hand. Yes, it will unload gondola cars in 40 minutes, removing all of the material from the sides, corners, and bottom. Watch the human movement of this powerful arm and hand. Despite the power and ruggedness of this unit, the smooth action of the hydraulic system allows the arms to select, lift, and place their loads with a gentle and delicate movement that is not integrated in other material handling equipment. The operator has complete control at his fingertips at all times, which eliminates the breakage and spillage which is prevalent when large quantities of material must be moved or handled. Consider the possibilities of this machine for city, county, and state road commissions to do the 101 jobs in highway construction and maintenance. Think of the applications for contractors and direction engineers. Don't overlook the savings in money and time when one man with one machine can do nearly all of the work in all kinds of weather, in all seasons, with a greater margin of safety to other workers. Figure the payroll savings, the operating costs, and the added profit, plus the smaller capital expenditure for other equipment. Large, unwieldy objects such as bridge trusses, telephone poles, oil well pipe, airplane sections, foundry castings, export crates are easily moved in confined areas. A crane must be crawler-mounted to work in all conditions, but the Cary-Lift, with its high axle clearance, is more mobile and will perform in mud where the crawler-mounted crane dares not go. Also, the Cary-Lift will transport its load at 20 miles per hour as compared to 2 miles per hour by a crane. Heavy loads of over 5 tons do not retard the speed, as the load rests on the chassis and is not carried by the arms. The four-wheel driving and steering mechanism has a distinct advantage when work areas are small, and the 13-foot turning radius maneuvers the machine readily in narrow drives, aisles, or passageways. The swiveling clam will unload a gondola car as well as load in a matter of 40 minutes or less. No hooking crews are needed, and each load is stacked or delivered to the proper place in the yard or mill. The old-fashioned crane method meant that the logs had to be handled many times, as the logs had to be stacked within the swing of the crane boom. The big 8-foot wide sawdust bucket has a capacity of 5 cubic yards and will clear away sawdust, slabs, and snow faster than bulldozers or trucks. Loggers and mills keep their roads and yards cleared for winter operations in the heavy snowfall area of northern Michigan. This bucket slips on the forks and is held by pins. This is the story of the Pettibone Mulligan Carylift machine. The only machine that will do all types of work better, faster, and with greater safety. The cost of maintenance and upkeep is negligible, while the trouble-free performance assures greater profits when more work is done at less cost. The ability to sort, reach, tilt, lift, carry, and place loads at higher speeds under all conditions of weather and terrain makes it an indispensable machine for your job. The full hydraulic operation means less wearing parts. On a larger scale, it does all the movements of the human arm and hand. The Carylift is another addition to the world's greatest line of material handling equipment, manufactured by the Pettibone Mulligan Corporation of Chicago.